My dogs. Switch 2 has been announced. Everybody and their mama has seen the release trailer. If you think she hasn't, trust me, she has. I should know. I was the one that told her about it last night.
Boy!
But nobody is talking about how the Switch 2 is trash. I mean, everybody's talking about it, really. The flipping Mario Kart World is priced at like an arm and a leg, and maybe the cost of your soul too. Hit up Satan. So, but that's not why it's trash. I, in my ingenious intellect, have realized the real reason that it's gonna flop. First, how am I gonna do this? Probably do chronological order. Which one's for this one, right? The Nintendo Entertainment System. Alright. Clarification. You can see from my beautiful skin complexion and the lack of wrinkles, I'm not old enough to have played on like a lot of the early consoles. So I'm just gonna give my objective opinion on it. I call it objective opinion because, as you know, intellectual intellect, it's a fact. So we have the Nintendo Entertainment System. Was this the one that had what games did? Oh, Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. 3, Zelda, Duck Hunt, Super Mario Bros. 2, Dr. Mario, Metroid, Tetris. Okay, this is it's a pretty good game. Pretty good games. Graphical quality was probably dog, but we'll put it in B tier. It wasn't nothing. Actually, it had Mario on it and stuff. We'll give it no. It's old though. B tier. B tier. What's next? What's the chrono? I can't spell. Ugh. Order of Nintendo console release. Color TV game. Is that on the list? Nah. Okay, well, we're just gonna skip that one. The NES. Then we have the SNES. Handheld console. The Game Boy. 1989. It came out before the. Okay, I guess we're doing the Game Boy next. The Game Boy. The Game Boy was revolutionary, I think. Was it? I never played any. I'll have to open a new tab. Game Boy games. Oh, like pure. These are like pure Game Boys, right? Had a bunch of Pokemon games, I think. Okay, it's like the same tier as it started it all, so it's gonna go in B tier. It's gonna go in B tier. It started everything. What's after Game Boy Color and Advance and stuff? Okay, so I guess next is the SNES. What were the SNES games? What were the SNES games? It's Mario World, go. Mario Kart, trash. I just made people mad. This is probably the same. We'll start. We'll put it. It's better graphical quality and everything. We'll put it in A tier. It's like the NES perfected. Again, I didn't play any of these games, so you're thinking, why am I even watching you do this? It's gonna get entertaining when it's the actual consoles I've played. What comes after the SNES? The Virtual Boy or the Game Boy Color? The Virtual Boy, then the Game Boy Color. No, the Virtual Boy, 64, and then the Game Boy. Okay, so what's the Virtual Boy? I think Nintendo created this for the infertile parents that couldn't adopt children. They couldn't have real boys, so they gave them a Virtual Boy. What did the Virtual Boy games? I heard it was trash, right? It was dog. Yeah, nobody. Oh yeah, it was like that fake VR thing, right? Yeah, no, this is trash. This is going in. This is D tier. But this links into exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Nintendo was known for revolutionizing the game. This was a risk, right? We'll get into it more later. But this was Nintendo from back in the day. They took risks. Now this one was a flop, but we'll see where the risks began to pay off. But this was trash. This was very, very bad. All those infertile parents got scammed. What's after the Virtual Boy? The 64. A year later, they came back with a goated console. I mean, what was on it? Super Mario 64 revolutionized 3D gaming, period. Not 3D Mario games. 3D games, period. Every single game that you like is probably 3D. You owe it to Super Mario 64 and Nintendo. This is what I'm talking about, Nintendo revolutionizing the game. The console was a Trident. The controller was ass, but the games were amazing. We had Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Smash Bros made its debut on the 64, I think. I can't be asked to check. Mario Party made its debut on this. Yeah, this is a solid A tier. Now you're probably thinking, why didn't you put it in S tier? Like I said, S tier. I don't know if I said it before. I probably did. If I didn't, I'm not gonna go back and check. I'm too lazy. Consoles that I personally played are the only ones that I'm allowed to put in S tier, because otherwise I'm just going off conjecture. Truthfully, I never even played Super Mario 64 or Mario Kart 64 or Super Smash Bros. On the game, or the first 3 Mario parties. Does that stop me putting in A tier? No. Are you gonna stop me? Probably not, pussy. Next, what came after? The Game Boy Color, right? So this is when Nintendo finally discovered what color was and put it in a handheld. I think the Game Boy Color is the one that has all the good Game Boy games. Game Boy. What's with Nintendo naming all of their consoles after boys? That's kind of very suspicious.
Check his hard drive.
Game Boy Color had all the good games. This was like all the ones where the Pokemon games were on, right? Yeah, the handheld Zelda games, and it actually had color on it, unlike all the other previous Nintendo consoles. So it's going in. It's gonna go in. It's gonna go in A tier. Next, we have what came after. We have the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube came out in the same year. I think the Game Boy Advance had stuff to do with the GameCube, so the GameCube came first. Alright, so we got the GameCube. Now this was also revolutionary, but not really. What I'm talking about is the controller. The GameCube controller was weird as it was. What the f is this? It's not a GameCube controller, is it? Nintendo's innovating more than I thought. This is the controller that will never die. It's never died. Ever since it was released, ever since Nintendo made the GameCube controller, they never stopped making it. They made it for the GameCube. Cool. They released an extension of it. For the matter of fact, Nintendo kept making this. Look, bruh. They made it for the Wii. Yes, I own a Wii. Nintendo was cool enough. They saw the channel. They subscribed. They gave me a personal copy of this Mario controller. Even though I told Shigeru Miyamoto I prefer Luigi. Waluigi, actually. But they made it for the Wii. Then they re-released it for the Wii U too. They made an adapt. No, look. When they did it for the Wii, they made it like a nunchuck edition, right? But then when it came to doing it for the Wii U, for the Super Smash Bros. Game on that one, we'll cover the Wii U in a second. You know what they did? They didn't even do that much. They made an adapter so you could use the original GameCube controller, and then look. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And that's for the Switch, but you get the idea. They made an adapter. This is exactly what I'm talking about. An adapter. For the Wii U. Adapter. So that you could use the original GameCube controllers. And they made an original one with the weird little dongle thing. And then the same thing for the Switch. We just saw the one that we just looked at was one for the Switch. They did the same thing. This controller never dies. The innovation was in the controller. And it had some badass games. What was the games? Like, had Mario Kart Double Dash, Super Smash Bros. Melee. People still talk about Super Smash Bros. Melee to this day. It is the greatest Super Smash Bros. Game. I'm not afraid to say it. I never played it. Did I play the GameCube? No, I didn't. But it was still cold. Super Mario Sunshine? Fire! Were there other GameCube games? Maybe I'm missing some. I can't. Okay. Computer, I might show you my balls. Can you just give me some cool games? Super Mario Strikers and all the Mario sports games? Yeah. This would, full disclosure, this would be S tier. Would this be the first S tier? I'm not bothered to tell you. Keep it a mystery. But this is definitely would have been a contender for S tier if I owned it when I was a kid. Yes, unfortunately, I didn't own the GameCube, so by my own rules, it has to go in the bin. Then we have the Game Boy Advance. This was the Super Saiyan version of the Game Boy, if I recall correctly. It didn't look like its predecessor, so it looked trash. What games did it have? Oh. Oops. The Game Boy Advance. Did it have good games? Oh, it had a bunch of Pokemon games. And Sonic Advance? F-Zero? Duke Nukem? Okay. And it had a Mario Kart. That Mario Kart was trash. Yeah. Hate that I'm putting all of these in like A tier. And Game Boy Advance is also an A tier console. Handheld console. This tier list, I don't like it. Nobody's in C tier. I'll change it later. What comes after the Nintendo? The Wii! No, wait, no. Not Wii. Damn, I was so hyped. The DS. The DS. Okay. Now we're getting into the territory of consoles that I owned when I was a youth. I still have them. Am I gonna go back and get them? Sure. One sec, chat. What's my DS? Yer, I had it. See, this is the DSi XL because I do everything bigger than the average person.
Settle down.
I had the DSi XL, but it's the same thing. DS, you already know where it's going. I don't even need to explain, but I'm going to explain anyway. This was revolutionary. Back to Nintendo being revolutionary. It was setting the standard. Look, let me go back to exactly what I was talking about. The Nintendo 64, 3D gaming was like established on the 64. Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, kind of. Yeah, you did the revolutionary 3D gaming. The GameCube, like the controller was the main revolutionary thing, like I said. But I mean, even look at the games. Like with Mario Kart Double Dash, it was insane. What's wrong with my camera? Is it? Oh, my camera's but yeah, Mario Kart Double Dash. The fact that you had another nigga on your cart that would just rock alongside you, amazing. You would get unique items based on the characters. Awesome. And then you had the DS. Handheld gaming done right. My days. The touchscreen, the double screen, the camera, the games. Oh my goodness me. Let's look at the DS games. Do I even need to look? The Pokemon games on the DS? Heat! Mario Kart DS? Fire! Super Mario 6, New Super Mario Bros? Mario and Luigi? Oh my goodness me. They had some of the best games. Yeah, easy S tier. This is when Nintendo was revolutionizing. Why? What is wrong with my camera? Come on, cuh. Come on, cuh. Alright, I'm gonna stop it. And then try to fix it again. My camera, for some reason, it just stopped taking good video. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the interim when I was still talking when the camera wasn't working properly. Technical difficulties on the first days, absolutely. But we move. DS, S tier. No explanation needed. Then we have, no shadow of a doubt, the greatest Nintendo console to date. Up next, right? The Wii. We already knew where the Wii was gonna be. We already knew. This was the most revolutionary console. It wasn't even a console, right? It was life. It was a phenomenon, right? The Wii was a phenomenon. Okay, you need to understand. It was a phenomenon. Culture defining. There are a few things in this life that are culture defining. You know, the Wii. Certain songs, like songs that travel around the world. This YouTube channel, like these things, they shift the culture. They just become so big, everybody knows about it. The Wii was the everyman's console, right? The same way, it's just the everyman's console. Your granddad played the Wii. Everybody, because it just made the motion controls was one of the greatest. Oh, Nintendo, what happened? The innovations? Oh my days. Wii Sports Resort. Mario Kart Wii. Both Super Mario Galaxy games. Super Smash Brothers, bro. Like, I don't even need to Google Wii games. All the best Nintendo games were on the Wii. Facts. I can't say anymore. I don't need to say anymore. It's the greatest. Wii Play, Wii Music. These are just the Wii games. Were there more Wii games? Wii Play Motion. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Come on, cuz. What are we even talking about? There's no need to discuss. There's no need to discuss. It's established fact, right? It's established fact. The Wii was Nintendo's greatest console. And then look at the next three entries, man. Washed. This is exactly what I was talking about. Nintendo hit their peak with the Wii. They hit their peak. They will never recover from this. The Wii was Nintendo was basically like a one-hit wonder. They had the DS, they had the Wii, and then everything was downhill from there. Everything was downhill. You see, this is the one-hit wonder effect. Remember that nigga? What's his name? Silent Toe? The Whip and Nene was a global phenomenon. When I say that, I don't mean it heavy-handedly. This is serious. I don't use the term lightly. It was a global phenomenon. I remember I was chilling in primary school, trying to chat up my crush. And then the teacher, in the middle of class, and my teacher, for whatever reason, was just like, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was like wet break or something, and we were just chilling in class. Or it was a fun lesson, golden time or something. I don't know. Maybe it was golden time. Who cares? She just put on Whip and Nene. And everybody and their granddad was hitting the Whip and Nene. Everyone was doing it. Everyone. Every single person was videoing themselves doing Whip and Nene. YouTube video compilations of people hitting the Whip and Nene. It was incredible. You would think this guy had a generation-defining career. He could have beat Michael Jackson. And what's Silent Toe doing now? What, the nigga's... he's in prison or something? Didn't he kill his cousin? What happened to Silent Toe? Ricky Hawk. Okay. Charged with the murder of his cousin. Exactly. Frederick Roots. It's gotta be racist. Rooks. Not Roots. I'm just blind. Silent Toe was arrested. And, oh my goodness me. That was disgusting. Look at his face. Dumbass. Oh man. But yeah, this is the exact same thing. Like another thing. You know when everybody was doing the teach me, not the teach me how to Dougie. It was the juju on that beat. Everybody was dancing to yeah, teach me how to Dougie, juju on that beat. Like juju on that beat was fire. Everybody was singing juju. You ugly. You your daddy said everybody was saying that. Lines off the dome. Don't call the cops, just call us. Like and now looks what happened. That nigga, the main guy, is what? Juju on that beat. Who was the guy? Zay Figure. Yeah, this nigga, right? What happened? I swear. Maybe he changed. I think he changed. But there was a time when hold on, I know I'm not crazy right now. I know I'm not crazy. Now I know that I ain't crazy. This nigga had an OnlyFans at one point. Yeah, he did! No, I don't want to go. Wait, I don't want to go to his OnlyFans. Chill out. Whoa, 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 whoa. I was watching the video one time, and then I looked in the comments, and he was saying, "Yeah, come check out my new platform." I was like, "Oh, what was this?" OnlyFans, nigga. That went from Juju on that beat to Juju on that meat. It was disgraceful. It was distasteful. Nobody wanted to see that. This is what happens. This is the one hit wonder effect. And one more example, just to hit it home. What was Ayo and the other nigga, Ayo and Tio, Rolex, right? Yeah, everybody was bumping this. Everyone. Everybody was bumping this. It was fire. It still is fire. Although you never understand what they're saying. The lyrical genius behind this song eludes me. I just want a roly 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 with a dab of ranch. Huh? I already got some designer to hold up my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance. What does dab of ranch mean? I forgot. What's in the bag, boy? What's a dab of ranch? Diamonds. Dab of ranch is from the Migos, obviously. I don't think I was bumping Migos 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I was what? Too young to be listening to the Migos. I don't know where they got that from, but you gotta stay with the new lingo. I don't think it was lingo back then. These guys are lying through their teeth. Plus, the kids picked up on it because when you hear Dab of Ranch and you dancing the song, you dab with it. The dab was also a cultural hit. And now if you dab, the internet will crucify you. Roly 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 with a Dab of Ranch. Where did they get Dab of Ranch from? Migos' collaboration with Rap Snacks. Migos released a snack called Dab of Ranch? What? But then, look at what this song that they released. They released another song. I forgot what it was. It was like Wake Up or something. Lit right now. There we go. Lit right now. Lit right now. And then okay, before they copyright strike the fuck out of my channel, I'm just gonna skip to the important. In Barbados, eating sushi like I'm kung fu. This is what the people that made Rolex are saying. That was the same year. This is the one hit wonder effect, bro. They be just saying whatever. The Wii was the same thing. Nintendo fell off after the Wii a little bit. It's just true. Because they stopped revolutionizing. It's clear. Look. Look. The next console that released, what? The Wii U. The same flipping thing, man. No, wait, hold on. Chronological order before I get pissed off. Yeah, okay, no. The Nintendo 3DS. It was basically the same as the DS. It was a little bit bigger. You met someone bigger. The Nintendo 3DS was a bit bigger than the DS. It had the little stick thing and the fake ass like 3D with no glasses thing that they were promoting. It was just not good. Just wasn't not good, to be honest. I played the 3DS, so I can put it in S tier. But I'm not going to because it wasn't that good. What game? It had decent games. They had Smash Bros on the 3DS, which was pretty neat. They also had, what do you call it? The 3D Mario game on there. Okay, now I'm gonna have to do 3DS games because they also had more Pokemon games on there, but the Pokemon games kind of took a nosedive after. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Then they had Miitopia, Mario Bros 2, but it wasn't that good. Yokai Watch, yo, shout out Yokai Watch, man. I used to bang out the demo and then never play it again. That was the thing. I was a demos kid. I never bought any of the real official games. I just played the demos a lot because I had parents that they would reluctantly buy you a console, but then when you told them that you needed to play games on the console, they would flip out at you. They're like, "What do you mean? I just bought you the game. I bought you the console. You know, want to buy more stuff for you? Get out of here." It's the same thing. So I always just used to play demos because, anyway, that's too personal. They had the Face Raiders, to be fair. Hot Sell games. What were the hot selling games? The Zelda re-release, Animal Crossing New Leaf. That was good. Mario Kart 7. How did I forget about Mario Kart 7? What are the underwater and gliding? It wasn't that good. It's like it's not even A tier worthy. It's like this is the downfall. It was B tier. Actually, yeah, it was B tier. Here's why. It's just the DS, but a little bit better. This is when Nintendo stopped revolutionizing and they started doing the same thing again, but a little bit better. That's what made Nintendo different from every other, like, what made Nintendo different from, like, the Xbox or the PlayStation? Was that Xbox and PlayStation, what they would do is they'd give you a games console, and then the next one would just be the exact same thing, but a little bit better. And then, like, a little bit better, a little bit better. And that's fine, but it's not what Nintendo does. Nintendo took risks. Yeah, the second console they released was just the first version, but better. But then after, what did they release after that? The Virtual Boy, and that was a step in the right direction for their ideology. Step in the wrong direction for the actual console they released. But that's what made Nintendo Nintendo. They used to switch it up, but now they're just doing the same thing. Like the Wii U is literally just the Wii, but a little bit more. So much so that they literally give you the option to have like a built-in Wii menu for your Wii U. That's how Nintendo knows that the Wii was infinitely their best console. And what they released was basically just Wii. New Super Mario Bros. U was okay. It wasn't very revolutionary because it was just the Wii game, but a little bit better. 3D World was just the 3DS game, but on the gamepad. Mario Kart 8, what did it add? Well, anti-gravity? And you couldn't even tell you were like in anti-gravity unless the tire shifted because the camera would just stay the same way behind you. Trash. Not trash, but trash. Right? What else? Did I have good Super Smash Brothers Wii U for Wii U? They introduced 8-player Smash. That was cool. Were there other good Wii U games? Nintendo Land was good. Nintendo Land was good. They had a Wii Sports game on there, right? What was it? Like Wii U Wii Sports Club. That's what it was. And you had to pay for it? That was so booty. I don't remember ever paying for like a single Wii game in my life. Funnily enough, I think I just got all. That's another thing. Maybe that's why I like the Wii so much. I don't remember spending a dime on the Wii. I don't remember saying a penny, a pound on the Wii. I just had all the games by default. I think they just spawned in. Shout out to God. You had to pay for this. I thought this was outrageous. No. The Wii U. No. Okay, listen. I had fond memories of the Wii U. I would go to like a cousin's, basically a cousin, really like a family friend, but he's basically a cousin's house. And he had the Wii U, and we had fun, good times. It was a nice console. You know, shout out to his mom. She made the best macaroni and cheese you've ever tasted in your life. I guarantee it. I'm addicted. To this day I still want to munch on it like every single meal. She must place a crack in it or something. The same thing. So I have fun memories of the Wii U, but it's just not that good of a console. I think this okay. Objectively, it's literally just the Wii but better. So it should be an S tier. But the Wii already did the Wii. We don't want more Wii. We want well, I want more Wii.
Pause!
But I just want the Wii. I want like a Wii remaster, not the Wii U. The Wii U is trying to expand on the Wii. No, stop. The Wii is already perfect. Okay? We don't need more of this. No, 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 no. So the Wii U, I'm putting it in C tier because the reason the 3DS and the Wii U are plagued by the same problem. They're just trying to do what their predecessor did, but a little bit better. And I don't like that for Nintendo. That's not what Nintendo does. That's not what they do. It's not. It's just not what they do. Right? But I was willing to give the 3DS a pass because at the least the 3DS is a handheld console. Right? There's only so much you can do with handheld power. So it being a lot like its predecessor, I'll let it slide. But the Wii U? Come on, man. That's a main game console. I love the console. There are not enough consoles in C. It's not evenly spread. Want to put an A console down. It's coming down to B. One of these niggas is coming down to C. But it has Mario. I can't put it in C. Okay, whatever. The Wii U can stay alone in C tier. C4 could have been better. And now we have the Switch. Now the Switch is probably the Switch suffers from the exact same problem as the Wii U and 3DS, but a little bit different because it's not trying to do what they did. Okay, to be fair, the Switch is basically just the Wii U gamepad, but it had its own thing. Nintendo did revolutionize it, but not in the same way. What revolutionized it is that the Switch is the perfect handheld. Every single handheld before the Switch was just trying to imitate what you could do on like a main console, but the Switch perfected and completed the idea of a handheld by just letting you take the main console on the go. But it loses that flavor because of it, even though it's literally the perfect handheld because it's just the main console on the go. It loses that bit of, I don't know, that individuality and that flavor that you're supposed to get. I like the DS and the Game Boys. I like them. And because they're different, they can do their own thing. So you lose the ability to do your own thing for the benefit of being the best handheld console. In principle, you're like the best, right? But the problem that it suffers with is that there's nothing new for the Switch. All the new games I can name on one hand: ARMS, Super Mario Odyssey, the Rabbids Invasion Mario game. That one was cool. Point is, yeah. Anyway, it's just old stuff on the Switch. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, flipping 3D All Stars. It's just old stuff on the Switch. There's nothing new here. But like I said, it is the perfect handheld console. So we have to give it some props. What props am I going to give it? The thing is, it's not that revolutionary. It is. No, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not taking back my comment that it's the perfect handheld console in principle, because it is. But it's not that revolutionary of a thing. You know what I mean? With every other console, Nintendo revolutionized the way that they revolutionized. It affected gameplay. You know what I mean? Like the Wii, it had the motion controls. The DS, it had the touchscreen. Stuff like that. With the Switch, it doesn't really affect the gameplay. It just lets you play the game on the go. You know what I mean? It didn't really do much. But what it did, it still did a lot, but it didn't do that much. Because it wasn't that big of a deal. Am I going to put it in the same tier as the Wii U? Maybe. I'll put it in... It can go in B tier. One of these niggas in B tier has to go down. Just has to. Forget it. You know what? I'm putting the Game Boy down a tier. It's just not that good. It's not good enough to warrant that. Yeah, so this... And now... What I've been waiting for. The reason that the Switch 2 is going to fail is it does the exact same thing. Name one thing new that the Switch 2 does over the Switch. I'm waiting